Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Buckle up, buckle up, buckle up. I know this is about to get crazy. We're on the J Diggs channel. The title of this video says, "The Michael Jackson emails nobody was supposed to see." Michael Jackson's death is one of those deaths that didn't sit right with a lot of people. A lot of people think something fishy definitely went on.
Absolutely.
But here we are, man. Original video will be in the description for you guys to check out more and even subscribe to his channel. All right. Leaving my like right now. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
The desire to be the greatest of all time is a never-ending curse. Because no matter how great you become, there's always a constant need to prove you're still the best. And nobody lived that curse more than Michael Jackson.
Are you pleased now with the way you
I'm never
look?
pleased with anything. I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
It's part of who I am.
Off the Wall had to be better than Motown. Thriller had to beat Off the Wall. And he kept trying to top himself with every album he recorded after. Every tour had to make the last one look small. Not because the fans or the label demanded it. It's because Michael expected it of himself. That kind of mentality is what made him the greatest entertainer who ever lived.
You know, it's crazy. Like, a lot of the young kids today are talking about aura. Like, oh, this dude got aura. That person has aura. You know, when I think of aura, I think of the movie The Last Dragon with Shonuff and Bruce Leroy, where they had that glow around them. Like, that's aura. Like, if anybody had aura, if you're going to look at somebody like that, like, Michael Jackson was definitely probably the definition of aura. Like, had people passing out and all that stuff. Probably the most idolized celebrity of all time.
And unfortunately, it's also what made him the perfect target.
This is the final curtain call. Okay? And see you in July.
By 2008, Michael Jackson hadn't toured in over a decade. He was 50 years old, his public image was in ruins, and he was sitting on over $400 million in debt. He needed one more show, one more moment to prove to the world and to himself that he was still him. And there were people around him who knew that. People who understood Michael's need to perform wasn't just ambition anymore. It became desperation. And sometimes in the music industry, one person's desperation is another person's opportunity. Even as a teenager, Michael had an obsession for greatness. He practiced nonstop. He was constantly pushing Motown for solo songs. Nothing was gonna stop him.
Actually, you're becoming like a stage addict. I really am. Like, when there are off days and there is no show, I'm up at night dancing just to
Man,
sing.
his voice,
It's
like,
really strange. Guess I'm an addict. Can't help it.
His love for music and his dedication to the craft gave him the power to push through dangerous rehearsals and performances. He spent hours working on his Motown 25 routine while recovering from surgery. He even kept dancing when his hair caught fire during the Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
And in 1995, he pushed himself to the point of passing out during rehearsals for an HBO special. The need to be the best wasn't a choice for Michael. It was in his blood. And that's exactly what made him vulnerable to what came next.
AEG, giving the world reason to cheer.
In 2008, a company called AEG Live approached Michael with a proposal. AEG owns arenas, they promote tours, they're behind some of the biggest concerts on the planet. And they saw something in Michael that nobody else was willing to bet on at the time. A comeback.
This is the moment. This is it.
The deal was massive. 50 shows at London's O2 Arena, a residency called This Is It. Michael and AEG stood to earn hundreds of millions of dollars. And after calculating ticket sales, merch, sponsorships, media rights, estimates reached over $1 billion. See, Michael was in a lot of financial debt, and AEG already advanced in tens of millions before the residency started. So this wasn't a situation where Michael could just walk away if things got bad. The money was already spent. Contracts were signed. AEG needed this tour to happen. And a cancellation would be a financial disaster. And Michael needed it too. Not just for the money, he needed the world to see him one more time and remember what he was. this was his resurrection. Everything was on the line for everybody involved. But right away, things started falling apart.
Alright, guys.
March 5th, 2009.
Let me put this down. Wait a minute. I love how in the script, this guy is always saying, but something bad is about to happen. But something bad is about to happen. That's kind of annoying.
The day Michael was supposed to appear at the O2 Arena in London to announce the tour to the world. Thousands of fans, hundreds of journalists, cameras ready to broadcast to the world. But at the same time, AEG Live CEO, a man named Randy Phillips, wrote an email to the parent company's executives and said, MJ is locked in his room, drunk and despondent.
And
Yo.
you wrote, I screamed at him so loud the walls are shaking.
Yes, that was an exaggeration, but I did raise my voice.
It's my first time
And
hearing
was it
that.
also an exaggeration when you wrote, this is the scariest thing I've ever seen?
The promoter blamed London traffic when Jackson was 90 minutes late for the announcement that day. And of course, they never said anything to the public. They rushed him to the O2. Michael walked out on the stage and told the world, this is it. And to everybody watching, it looked like the King of Pop was back.
This is it.
It's kind of creepy hearing that this is it. You know? Woo-wee. I can't wait to see what they're going to say about these emails, man.
But behind the scenes, AEG already knew he wasn't okay. But they pushed forward anyway. 2 months later, Randy Phillips even went on CNN and told the public that Michael Jackson was as healthy as he can be. No health problems whatsoever. Over the next couple of months, there were growing concerns amongst the internal team about Michael's health.
Man.
Randy sent an email to Paul Gongaware, the co-CEO. We need to pull the plug now. After some back and forth, the team decided it was time to bring in a doctor. But not just any doctor. It had to be someone that Michael trusted. Dr. Conrad Murray was a cardiologist, and he first met Michael back in 2006 in Vegas.
Yo.
Murray had been treating Michael on and off for a few years, but by 2009, he was drowning in his own debt. He was facing foreclosure on his home. He owed child support to multiple women. His medical practice was falling apart. He was behind on everything. And then came the offer. AEG Live drafted a contract to pay Murray $150,000 a month to serve as Michael Jackson's personal physician. Now, $150,000 sounds real nice when you're deep in debt and can't pay your mortgage. But here's the catch. The contract was never actually signed by Michael. Murray was never technically paid, but he was already treating Michael in anticipation for a big payday. The doctor responsible for keeping Michael Jackson healthy had every financial incentive in the world to keep him performing no matter what. If the tour gets canceled, Murray doesn't get paid. The company executives at AEG knew this, and they used Murray as leverage whenever there was concerns brought up about Michael's health. They had the doctor in their back pocket.
Did you ever talk to Dr. Murray about Michael Jackson's health?
Not so much about his health, no.
Well, what in particular did you talk to him about?
Well, I talked to him about being willing to get him whatever he needed to do what he had to do.
So now you got three parties locked into the situation. Michael, who needs to prove he's still the greatest, AEG, who needs the tour to happen to recoup their investment, and Dr. Murray, who needs Michael to push through to collect his paycheck. Every single person around Michael Jackson had a financial reason to keep him going.
Yeah.
And for a while, it looked like it actually might work. In the This Is It documentary, Michael looks incredible. He's dancing, he's directing the band, he's obsessing over every detail the way he always did.
I remember this clip.
But what the documentary didn't show you is what's happening in between the rehearsals. Michael was losing weight, he was missing rehearsals. One of the show engineers even emailed that MJ is not in shape enough yet to sing this stuff and dance at the same time. Now keep in mind, this email was sent 1 month before the first show. People on the production team, they were starting to notice, but nobody wanted to be the person who pulled the plug. As the first show date was quickly approaching, the pressure was reaching a boiling point. Dancers were making sure every step was in line. The band spent hours making sure every song was perfect, sometimes even repeating the same section of a song over and over again. And not only did Michael have to sound his best, he also had to look his best. And that was a job for Karen Faye.
Just a little bit softer.
Karen was Michael's hair and makeup artist for over 20 years. He was like a brother to her. And when she was brought on board, she noticed something wasn't quite right. In an email, she wrote to one of Michael's managers, Frank DeLeo,
Here we go.
"I have seen with my own eyes him deteriorate physically in a month." Karen also had friends who were fans and would sometimes spend time with Michael at different events and backstage meet and greets. And a month before the first show date, emails from those fans started coming in. One fan wrote, "Michael is too thin. When we hugged, I felt there was literally nothing to him."
Damn.
In another email, a fan wrote something that's even more chilling. "Last week I was in LA with a friend to see Michael. She said when he took his jacket off, she saw a skeleton. She went on to say, if we do nothing, he will die."
His promoter struck a deal for Jackson to stay for 40 more shows. Well, he's now panicking. He says he's not physically strong enough for that many shows. He says he's not a big eater, and if he doesn't put on some weight, he'll never get through it.
Karen became terrified for Michael. She was working hands-on with him on a daily basis and could physically see his deterioration. Near the end of Karen's email to Michael's manager, she says, "You do."
It's crazy though, because it's like they want this show to happen, but if he's not healthy to do it, it's like they need to find a way. Because everybody's saying they're seeing him, and emails were like months before the show, so it's like, did Michael ever say like, no, I'm not going to do this? He said he was saying he's not a big eater. That's what I'm saying. Just something just didn't seem right with this man. You know, it was a lot of the stuff that he said so far that I knew, but then it's a lot that I didn't know.
Not want him collapsing in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
His bones are protruding. And then at the end of the email, she says, "I'm leaving this in your hands as you have instructed me to do so."
Could y'all imagine that? If that would have happened on stage? If he would have just passed out? Because, you know, I've seen like those NBA players, or there have been some soccer, like football players, that stuff happened on the field or on the court. Michael Jackson on stage, I mean, a lot of people would have probably said, oh, this is the way he would have wanted to go out, but sheesh, man.
Now, according to other emails and personal accounts, Michael was pretty stubborn, and there wasn't much his manager, let alone his hairstylist, could say to make him walk away from one of the most important moments of his life.
That's what I was saying.
A couple of days where you say, Mike, are you all right? Are you taking anything? Or you seem, well, no. Why? What would make you think that? Don't ask me that. He said that. I have kids. I'm not doing that. So what are you going to say? You know, he's a grown man.
The only people who could put a stop to this whole thing were the people in charge of AEG Live. Randy Phillips, Paul Gongaware, and their boss, Tim Lawicki. Now, if you don't know Tim Lawicki,